I think it's an interesting thought, though, because I do think... Welcome to the Micheaux Mission, 2 Men, 1 podcast. Every black film ever made. My name is Len. Let's do this over. Welcome to the Micheaux Mission, 2 Men, 1 podcast. Every black film ever made. My name is Len, a.k.a. the Bat Tribble. And as always, I'm joined by my partner.
Hey, this is Vincent Williams.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are closing out the Bards of November as we say adieu to November 2023. And we do it in style, in fabulous black and white style of director Joel Coen's in Vincent's selection for tonight's movie, The Tragedy of Macbeth, starring Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, Corey Hawkins, and one Catherine Hunter as not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 roles in this film. This stop on the Micheaux Mission. But as always, we say hello to all of you out there who are watching us as we are streaming live from Yunk Junk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace, to all of our faithful missionaries out there on Facebook and watching us on YouTube. Shout out to each and every one of you in the chat. Hello.
Good evening, one and all.
It is the week after the holidays.
It is
Thanksgiving.
It is.
Vincent, how was your holiday?
My holiday was fine, but I think I speak for all of the missionaries when I say what we've all been preoccupied with throughout the holiday weekend was finding out, how did the cranberry sauce go?
I'm glad you asked me that, Vincent, about my cranberry sauce, which I did announce to the missionaries that for the first time ever, I was making for Thanksgiving. Homemade, slow-cooked cranberry sauce.
That's right. That's right.
Now, to be fair, and to cover my ass, I did also bring along to the dinner a can of cranberry sauce.
Okay. All right.
Just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Which was met with great delight.
Yes.
My longtime family friend, Miss Debbie, who said, "This is the only cranberry sauce I know." And she proceeded to quickly whisk out her personal can opener and open up the can and shook it down onto a bowl.
Isn't it hilarious how cranberry sauce people, there's that vein of cranberry sauce people that they ride or die for the can.
For the can.
Like, they love the can.
They don't like anything else from a can.
Right.
Anything else from a can, they're like, oh, it's not.
Right.
But cranberry sauce, they have to.
Right.
Now, that was fine.
Okay, sure.
So she had her cranberry
Had her
sauce.
thing. We're not going to talk about why she had a can opener in her purse, but okay, sure, why not?
Miss Debbie is a peculiar lady.
All right.
But I love her.
That's right.
But I had my cranberry sauce. Now, I had taken it over my sister's in just like a basic plastic Tupperware bowl. But I needed like something to adorn it in.
Sure. You have to serve it.
Exactly.
That's right.
So my sister, she proceeded, because first my sister looks at it and she's like, "What's this?" I'm like, it's cranberry sauce. She's like, "Wait a minute, didn't we tell you to buy cranberry sauce? Nobody told you to make cranberry sauce." I said, "Oh, I took it upon myself to make cranberry sauce."
Yes.
So she proceeds to give me first a mixing bowl to serve the cranberry sauce in.
Sure.
And I said, no. Miss Debbie's got her canned stuff in a nice little white bowl that's got like the gold lattice around the rim. It's like, no, I need something at least equally nice to display.
That's right. You use a slow cooker.
Exactly. So she gave me a nice little glass bowl. And
Okay.
I put, delete some out.
Sure.
Now, Miss Debbie, to her credit, said, "Okay, it looks interesting.
Okay.
So I'm going to try it."
Okay.
And she takes a spoon. Try some. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I can't lie to you, Len. That's not bad.
That's a good start.
we had another family friend over.
Okay.
Guy named Fred.
Okay.
Who actually was for 20 years, no, actually for 25 years, was one of the chefs at the Chestnut Hill Hotel.
Oh, la-di-da.
And hold the dough. Mm-hmm. So I said, Fred, look at that cranberry sauce. What that he says, well, that's what cranberry sauce is supposed to look like.
Okay.
He says, so it looks good.
So you like, yes, chef.
I said, all right, chef, try it, Fred.
Okay.
Fred takes a spoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
That's good cranberry sauce.
Thank you, chef.
I said, thank you, chef. Mm-hmm. So now my sisters come walking up behind Fred. It's like, yo, that's good. That is exactly what it's supposed to look like. It's a little sweeter than most people make it, but I like it.
Sure.
They're like, okay. So everybody goes around and they're fixing their plates. Like maybe about 15 people here.
Okay.
Fixing their plate. They start putting little bits of the cranberry sauce.
Sure. You gotta try.
I go downstairs. I'm eating my dinner.
Right.
I come back upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
The cranberry sauce is gone.
Bam.
Bam.
There you go.
It's gone. Now, I didn't think people would believe me. So I got testimonials.
All right.
I got testimonials from people. The first person that I received a testimonial from was my sister.
Yes.
My twin sister,
Yay,
Leslie.
I was about to say.
Who says to all of you
I
missionaries.
believe your older sister, Leslie.
You would remember that, wouldn't you?
I mean,
You would.
You can tell she's older than you.
Hey,
Leslie.
It's 8 minutes.
A lot can happen in 8 minutes.
Yeah. Yes, it could. Anyway, she begins. There's nothing better than having Thanksgiving, but to have Thanksgiving leftovers and There's nothing better than having Thanksgiving except Thanksgiving leftovers.
Yes.
And leftovers are not complete unless you have cranberry sauce.
Okay.
However, my brother, Len, a.k.a. Cruz, a.k.a. Bat Triple, I'm not sure what they're calling him these days.
A lot of aliases.
I have a lot of aliases. Made the most amazing homemade cranberry sauce with fresh cranberries that gave it a sweetness and a tartness all at the same time. It didn't look like your traditional canned cranberry sauce either. It looked as if it was made with love, and that is exactly how it tasted. I could not wait to put that on my leftover turkey. There's a second calling for you, Len.
There you go.
That's from my sister.
Well, there you go. Well done.
Thank you.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Now, because, perhaps not you, Vincent, but I know the missionaries. I know you all very well. Each and every one of you, especially, some of you more hardened heart ones. Who are probably out there in the chat saying, yeah, but that's his sister.
Well, yes.
And it's his twin sister.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So what is she going to, she's going to ride with for Len.
Absolutely.
So I sought a testimonial from the one and only Miss Debbie.
Oh, and what did Miss Debbie say?
Miss Debbie says, I've never had the desire to try anything other than canned jellied cranberry sauce, but was pleasantly surprised when I tried your homemade sauce.
All right.
I will stick to the can.
Yes.
But yours was better than I thought it would be.
It was better than I thought it would be.
Now that's all I needed.
Look.
That was all I needed.
There you go.
Man, you want to talk about wind beneath your wings.
There you go. It's better than I thought it would be.
I was flying.
Right. So is this your deal now? Is this you every year?
I think this is my deal.
This is going to be all right.
I think this is my deal.
Well, this has been a roller coaster of emotions. I'm so glad we took this journey with you. Well done.
Thank you.
My good and faithful servant.
Thank you. I'm very pleased.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. Let's get the show started, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. So what we gonna do? Because we got little news and
We do have
letters
news.
and what do we want to do first?
Well, let's get some of the news out of the way.
All right, right.
Because it's with a heavy heart.
Oh, it really is.
It is with a heavy heart that we come to you today
Yeah.
on the Micheaux mission to speak about the passing
Yeah.
of one 86 years young. And if ever there was a person that was 86 years young, it was this man, Marty Krofft.
Yeah.
Of the famous Sid and Marty Krofft Productions,
Yeah.
television productions that produce some of the 60s, the 70s into the 80s greatest Saturday morning, some cartoons, mostly live action fare,
live action. Yeah.
and some primetime stuff as well.
They dipped their toe.
They did HR Puffin stuff.
Sigmund and the Sea Monster.
Sigmund and the Sea Monster.
Bugaloos.
The Bugaloos.
Dr. Shrinker.
The Lost Saucer.
Yeah, the Lost Saucer.
On primetime, I didn't even realize they were the producers of the Donnie and Marie show.
I did know that.
And considering how big that was.
And now that you know it, when you look at clips of Donnie and Marie,
you can see it.
You can see it.
You could 100% see it.
And of course, we have to appropriately talk about their Macbeth, Land of the Lost.
The Land of the Lost.
Yeah. I always try to explain, and this may be relevant for our younger missionaries, like before everything was deregulated in the 80s, and basically the toy companies got permission to just go to town and have these 22-minute commercials, which is where something like the Transformers and G.I. Joe and all of this stuff that we see now. Children's programming was just a free-for-all. Like, it was no real money in it. So like people and coming out of the 60s, you had this whole sort of aesthetic that the Krofft brothers channeled into this amazingly bizarre psychedelic fare that it's so much of Gen X like it was affected and informed by them. So that a lot, like if you're of a certain age, you have a lot of affection for the Krofft brothers, and Lynn and I are certainly in that age group.
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah.
Man. Think of how much of their stuff, skirted that line. You talk about psychedelic. Yeah. It's skirted that line between kids fare, young adult fare, adult fare. Right. It was right there. And the proof is that, their heyday was the late 60s and the most of the 70s. Yeah. That was their heyday. But with the advent of MTV, a lot of their stuff got replayed. Yeah. On those cable channels. Yeah. Because you could find stuff there. You find the little funky little songs, man, the fashions, and some of the messaging that was coming through was there was a lot of free love.
The Krofft brothers swore they did not use drugs.
Yeah. But if you did, they were just fine.
Oh my goodness. We've actually talked about them previously on a couple of binge lounges.
Oh, we have.
Yeah, because like I said, we are big fans.
Oh, huge fans.
So that's a loss. And that's a real loss.
And he died. Marty Krofft died at the age of 86. But from all accounts, they were huge parts of our childhood. But from all accounts, they were also supremely beloved in Hollywood. Not just because of the things that they created, but because of the friendship and the family that they created amongst the people that produced their shows and anyone that came in contact with them. They were always working with, always talking about they had some job that they were ready to bring to bear. And whenever they did that, they were always reaching back out to their family, like, well, we've got a role for you here. We've got a role for you here. And it says something that on the Facebook posting, when Marty Krofft died, his posting from his brother, Sid, his surviving brother, about his brother, it had something like 6,000 likes and over 1,000 comments from people just sharing the love, and it speaks to the souls that they touched and the feeling of affection that people have for that family and for those two. So
one notable thing, if we gotta link it to us, also produced the short-lived Richard Pryor Saturday morning variety show, Pryor's Place.
Absolutely. Which alongside Richard Pryor's, the primetime show, aren't cult favorites.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cult favorites, man. So So it's crazy to say, but at 86 years young, he was gone too soon.
And once again, if you are unfamiliar, I don't even know what to tell people to Google, because it's like Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Oh, wow. I forgot about
the Bugaloos, Dr. Shrinker.
You know what you could do?
Sid and the Sea Monster.
You know what you could do?
You said HR Puff and stuff. Like any of them, like 10 minutes from anything that I just rattled off will blow your mind.
It will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. You know what I did is I sat and watched. There is a YouTube video out there that is just the opening to all of
the opening credits.
The opening credits to all of their
Watch
shows.
The opening credits to everything we just said.
Yep. That's it.
So, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Someone mentioned it worth saying, so we're talking about people who passed. Gene Knight passed. Mr. Big Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Mr. Big Stuff.
Yeah, so rest in peace to Ms. Knight.
There you go.
Shout out to her family.
All right.
Let's
get started, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for missives from the missionaries.
All right.
We have emails, Vincent.
Ooh, missives from the missionaries.
Ooh.
Missives from the missionaries.
Vincent, we have an email from Nicole Court.
Hey, Nicole.
Hi, Len and Vince. I hope you both had a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You as well.
I watched Meteor Man the other day. And I have a question for both of you to chime in on.
Uh-oh. It's like, it's appropriately enough, you know the superstition, you're not supposed to say the word Macbeth in the theater. Like it's bad luck.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you're not supposed to say Macbeth. And it's like we gonna talk about this, Nicole, but we don't really mess with Meteor Man.
We don't really. Yeah. No. That's already twice. So
all right.
I have a question for both of you to chime in on. This question may sound left field.
Okay.
But if you were to pick between Robert Townsend and Tyler Perry in terms of directors and their impact, who would it be and why? Sounds absurd, but I'm curious about the input from the both of you. I'm not sure if you guys take movie recommendations, but I hope you guys discuss an early 90s gem, Living Large, with T.C. Carson, and Paid in Full. I also think it would be cool if you guys dedicated a month of discussing Black books that were turned into movies. Keep up the great work and love, as always, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki.
I like the idea of taking a month to discuss black books that were turned into movies.
You know, I love that.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. It would be interesting fare. Living Large, you know how you talk about like short lists? Living Large has been on my short list for a visit in a certain month of the year. So I'm thinking about that.
You think Living Large, I'm assuming you mean Mother May I. Do you think Living Large is bad enough to be in Mother May I?
See, I haven't seen it in so long, but I remember seeing it when it came out and saying, I don't like this. So I remember it being a bad movie.
Is Living Large any worse than Strictly Business or Mo Money?
It's a good question. See, I'm not a big T.C. Carson fan, so I want to say yes, but it has been a long time since I've seen it. Sure.
Paid in Full has been on my short list for
Paid in Full,
too.
Yeah. I've thought about that.
Yeah.
But Nicole asked a very interesting question in regards to Robert Townsend and Tyler Perry, because while we have been, we've said our thing about Tyler Perry, we've also had a thing or two to say about the works of Robert Townsend. So if you were to pick between the two of them, as far as their impact in the culture, where would you lie? And I'm assuming she's asking who would have had the bigger impact. See, that's interesting.
That is interesting because the 5 Heartbeats has left quite a footprint.
Yeah, it has. But I actually, the way I was thinking about it is that I think Robert Townsend's impact is probably felt more behind the scenes.
And then I was going to say that you get the sense that he really has become this elder statesman.
Yeah, and like a mentor for a lot of black creators.
That is a good question.
Yeah, because conversely, Tyler Perry, say what you want about his films, say what you want about the way that he makes his films, he is a person that gives a lot of people work. Like Cecily Tyson, when we love her, but Cecily Tyson's latter part of her career, her life was spent on a fair amount of Tyler Perry work.
Yeah, but that's not really impact. That's more celebration. When I think impact,
I
would think about who started with Tyler Perry.
Okay.
Like I would think more like Lance Gross or I think her name is China Ann McLeod. Like I'm thinking about people who started with Tyler Perry
and then went on to
then kind of went on and did other stuff.
Okay.
Which, Tika Sumpter, I think you could argue.
Tika Sumpter's a good one.
Yeah. And then I don't know how many filmmakers. Well, I don't know how many filmmakers would follow in his wake.
Tyler's?
Yeah, like I do think
I don't think there's been many.
Well, I do think there is a certain sensibility among young creatives where they say, I want to control everything. Including the production and getting it out there. That sort of do for self that you get with Tyler Perry. I think this is a surprisingly nuanced question.
It is, because I'm still not, I'm because they're Tyler Perry, like you've just said, he has become like this a benchmark for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Which is, despite whatever elder statesman role he plays, I can't say, at least from my understanding, I don't think that Robert Townsend holds that same place.
Well, like you said,
it's in a different way,
and I get the sense, like you said, behind the scenes.
Yeah, like he's the director's director, but
right.
But even then,
or at least a director's sounding board.
Sounding board. That's more to the point. A sounding board. I don't know. In the chat, Farrell Blackwell says, in his opinion, Tyler Perry has had more impact in front of and behind the camera, far more than Robert Townsend, while Deborah Battle is saying that Robert Townsend did open up Hollywood for somebody like Tyler Perry.
You doing an on the street report now? You just here now and from the on the street.
Well, I thought those were two interesting comments to share live to people who can't see them.
Just on the street, say, this is Lynn Webb here on the street. All the humanity. Do you watch WKRP in Cincinnati every year, the Thanksgiving episode, or do you at least listen to the clip?
Oh my God! Turkey.
That's what you made me think of just now. Here's all the humanity. I'm gonna step inside.
Oh my God! Oh my dude, I love that episode.
Of course you do. Everyone loves that episode. It's perfect.
Again, they're bombing Cincinnati with turkeys. Oh my God, I love it. Oh.
I don't have a definitive answer. I don't want to have a definitive answer.
You don't want to have a definitive answer.
I don't want, well, yeah, because I've been going back. I feel
like you have one.
I actually don't. Like, I'm actually kind of going, like depending on the metrics, I go back and forth. Like, I'm really going back and forth. Because I think when you talk about, in front of the camera, like, certainly you have Medea and who Medea represents. But besides, like, you got, like, her little catchphrases, hello and hallelujah. Like, I don't know how much.
Well, Farrell Blackwell.
Oh, my God. Would you please stop?
No. I just wanted one aspect of what he said.
Yes.
We're saying, in his opinion, that Tyler Perry had more impact in front of as well as behind the camera. I can see from in front of in how, him getting so many productions out there, having so many black faces in them and whatever. I can see that in front of the camera there's that impact. I question the behind the scenes impact, whether or not his impact was as great as Robert Townsend.
Well, I think the behind is as an example.
Yeah, but I think that whatever example he is behind the scenes, I think there are other producers who are probably more of an example and creatives, seek to emulate more so than Tyler Perry behind the camera.
Sure.
I'm thinking like about Ava DuVernay, Spike Lee, even Issa Rae to a degree, how she built up.
Well, the funny thing is Issa Rae kind of undercuts the Tyler Perry argument because Issa Rae kind of did the same thing, but she's younger and
yeah. Barry Jenkins, who's very selective about the work that he does. So I think there are other ones behind the camera.
Yeah,
who the creatives
and in front of the camera, I don't like. Maybe I'm biased, and I have a self-selecting data set. People our age, people, but like I can't think of anything from a Tyler Perry, anything that has the same cultural footprint as My Office Hours are 9 to 5. And when I said that, every single person listening to me knows that I'm talking about Red.
Right.
Or, Eddie Kane Jr. It's an interesting question.
Well, that's fair if you don't want to have an answer. My answer would be Robert Townsend.
Okay.
And I'm leaning on this. Based on the people that I have seen, interviews that I have read, some people that we even know, because I think even Dorian has spoken about Robert Townsend impact in Hollywood and Omar. But that role of elder statesman is something not to be taken lightly, and to take this to sports, right? One of the biggest things that came about when the NBA just fairly recently celebrated the 75 years, right? and they had like all the 75, like 75 greatest athletes in the NBA history and like that. And it was so interesting how the stars from the 80s into the 2000s. So we're talking about Bird, Magic, Barkley, Jordan, LeBron, all of them. Each and every one of them talked about how on the low, behind the scenes of everybody out there who ever like just reached out to them and touched or made themselves open to them in a way, it was Julius Erving.
Yeah.
Each and every one of them talked about, and it was stuff that, and I'm a lifelong Julius Erving fan, and it was stuff that I didn't even know.
Right.
That he had did, the conversation he had with Jordan, he had with Magic, he had with LeBron, that, and opening himself up to them to talk about stuff. And when I think of how I've heard people speak about Robert Townsend, it is in that same way.
Okay.
It's nothing big, but they go to him and they just, sit and they take it in.
Sure.
So I'm going to say he's had the bigger impact. We just don't see it, but the people that matter, they know it.
I will agree with you.
All right.
Thank you, Nicole. Thought-provoking.
I love it. We love our missionaries. All right, we got got a couple more emails. Actually, got a few more, but we're only going to do a couple more.
Okay.
We got an email from. Make sure that I got this correct. Yep. Here we go. Michael Sykes.
What's up, Michael?
Len and Vincent, do y'all want some breakfast? Hello,
Talk about iconic.
I listened to y'all episode of Baby Boy. And I'll have to say that it used to be a guilty pleasure of mine until BET continuously played it. Now I'm so tired of seeing it. Vincent, you had me in tears, choking when you talked about how Melvin and Jody wanted to run away together and have a bed and breakfast. My other guilty pleasure movies are Norbit, Obstacles, starring E40 and Brian Hooks.
I've never even heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
But I love everything about what I just heard.
The Wash with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
Metro. I think that's the Eddie Murphy
Yeah,
movie.
we were just talking about Metro.
Marked for Death.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
boy.
Oh, yeah.
And Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins.
You know what? Talking about shortlist.
You've mentioned that before.
Yeah.
I really can't wait for y'all to review The Wash and Original Gangsters starring Fred Williamson.
Funny thing about Original Gangsters, and I've not checked in probably 2 years. I was going to choose Original Gangsters, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was streaming.
Yeah.
I remember I was having trouble with that. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. Your fan, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
A lot of those movies on a lot of lists of ours. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for our emails.
We got to do somebody. We can't end with Michael. Because Michael, we do Michael. You got to do Michael.
You got to do Michael.
But you get somebody else.
That's going to do it.
All right.
For our emails this week, ladies and gentlemen. But we do have an announcement that we want to make for you. 2024 is going to be shaping up as a very big year for the Micheaux Mission, as we have a series of film screenings that we are planning throughout the year.
That's right.
And we are going to be kicking things off in January.
Yes, we are.
January 27th to be exact, at the Lounge at World Cafe Live here in Philadelphia, where Vincent and I will be screening Love Jones.
Screening Love Jones.
On a big screen.
Big screen.
You can order drinks. You can order food.
Yes.
Sit back. Watch Nia Long.
Being a terrible person.
and Lorenz Tate and a bunch of other people. But Nia Long up on the big screen, and you know you've only seen Love Jones on your kitchen TV, ladies and gentlemen. This is your opportunity to watch it on the big screen.
Yeah.
And then sit back and relax as Vincent and I bring you a live podcast that night. It'll be January 27th at the Lounge at World Cafe Live. Tickets go on sale this Friday. So do not miss your opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. This Friday, December 1st, tickets go on sale. You can go to worldcafelive.com. You can go there right now. You can sign up to get the alert so you are notified when the tickets go on sale so you can get your tickets and be sitting right there for Nia Long in Love Jones.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yes.
Got lost there. Now, let's move on to
all right,
the top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5. My top 5 is. My top 5 is. My top 5 is. My top 5 is.
Top 5, ladies and gentlemen, where I give Vincent a list and he gives us his scintillating commentary on it.
Ooh, scintillating.
Tonight's top 5, as we close out the Bards of November, our celebration of the adaptations of one William Shakespeare. I present to you, Vincent.
Yes, sir.
The top 5 Shakestrange. Strange and unusual adaptations of the works of William Shakespeare.
Oh, that'll be fun.
This should be fun.
What we got?
Starting with number 5.
See if I've seen these. Go ahead.
Well, some of them are movies.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually stage adaptations.
Okay.
Unlike of which you've never heard.
Okay. What we got?
The first is a movie. Get this one right out of the way.
Okay.
This is one you know of.
Okay.
From 1956.
Okay.
Forbidden Planet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's The Tempest.
Do you remember Forbidden Planet, the
That's
1950 sci-fi gem that starred Anne Francis and Leslie Nielsen?
That's right.
One of the most innovative early sci-fi films and influenced Gene Roddenberry, George Lucas, and many, many others. But what many people don't know, missionaries, is that Forbidden Planet is a faithful
it sure
retelling
is.
of Shakespeare's The Tempest.
Yeah, that's right.
Until the end, that is.
Yeah. And not as many robots in The Tempest.
As in Forbidden Planet.
Because you forgot the biggest star to come out of Forbidden Planet
Robbie the Robot.
Robbie the Robot.
Robbie the Robot.
Yeah.
He was the biggest star to come out of the Forbidden Planet. The biggest difference between the Forbidden Planet and the Tempest is Prospero survives the Tempest, while Morbius in Forbidden Planet is killed by the creature he accidentally created.
Yeah.
Although setting the movies in space is par for the course now, placing a Shakespeare play among starships and nebulas was a bold choice for director Fred Wilcox in 1956. It just goes to show that the Bard's plays really are timeless.
Yeah. How you feel about Forbidden Planet?
I've seen it before, once or twice before. It is, it's fun.
Oh my God, I love Forbidden Planet.
It's a lot of fun.
How you feel about 50s sci-fi generally?
There's some that are just so dumb that I just fall in love with it. Like,
sure, absolutely.
Which is the one with the giant ants? I want to say that's it, but
them.
That's what it is. Them. I knew it was.
Yeah, them is giant ants. Food of the Gods is giant animals.
I haven't seen Food of the Gods.
And then Attack of the 60 was it 60-foot woman?
50-foot.
50
woman. 50-foot woman.
Is a big lady.
It's a big lady. Yes, it's just a big lady just smacking stuff.
It's a big lady.
That was a weird. That was a weird man.
All right, I was just I love Forbidden Planet though.
Forbidden Planet is fun. I like the one Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Center of the Earth, absolutely.
Yeah, that's my one. I like that one. Okay.
All right.
That was number 5.
All right, number 5. Let's go.
Number 4.
Number 4.
We journeyed to the world of television.
Okay.
In fact, this is actually British television.
Oh, I see.
From 1964.
Mm-hmm. Bit of a sticky wicket.
TV special called Around the Beatles.
Around the Beatles.
Yes.
Okay.
And I bet you're thinking that Shakespeare and the Beatles don't mix.
I'm trying to
think again, my friend. In 1964, the darlings of the British rock scene combined one English thing with another by filming a TV special inspired by a scene from A Midsummer's Night Dream.
Okay, all right.
You know the play within a play in Act 5 where the rude mechanicals or players perform the story of Pyramus and Thespis?
No, of course.
In Around the Beatles, Paul, John, George, and Ringo take on the roles of the mechanicals, galvanizing around a theater and singing some of their most popular songs as they act out the tragic love story of Pyramus and Thespis.
Well, there you go. I was unaware of this.
While wearing doublets and feathered caps.
I mean, what else would they have been wearing?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there you go.
There you go. You were not aware of that.
I was not aware.
Okay.
And now I am.
And now you are.
Yes.
Consider yourself educated.
Yes.
Number 3.
Number 3.
This is from 2010.
Okay.
Now, this is not an adaptation of a Shakespeare play, but it is, some might argue, a comical sequel.
A sequel
to a Shakespeare play.
Okay.
From 2010, it is The People versus Friar Lawrence.
Okay.
As in any good Shakespearean tragedy, all of the interesting characters are dead at the end of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Except for Friar Lawrence.
Is that the dude that married him?
He is the guy who secretly married the two teenagers, despite his misgivings, and then gave one of them a potion that would make her appear dead. Now has to explain his shenanigans to the grief-stricken Capulets and Montagues.
Yeah.
They all seem cool with his behavior, but critics have debated whether the friar is at fault for Romeo and Juliet's deaths for a century. So, in The People versus Friar Lawrence, a musical comedy that takes place after the young couple's double suicide, Friar Lawrence is put on trial for Romeo and Juliet's demise. It is as entertaining as it is witty, and it also begs the question, why was a man of the cloth going around giving sleeping potions to young women?
I was about to say, because I think, like, we don't really talk about it that much. I think Juliet is really 13. And Romeo's like 17.
Yeah. So perhaps this is a trial that's long overdue.
Right. Especially like the subtext is him telling them, y'all need to go ahead and consummate this marriage. That's from the text. So yeah. So
all
right, yeah. Lock his ass up. Right. You got sleeping potions and young girls. It's like Friar R. Kelly all of a sudden. It's like, why you hang around these kids and why you got sleeping potions in your pocket?
And why you peeing on them now?
Right, like what kind of clergyman are you? There you go.
Number two.
You all need to consummate this marriage. It's like, dude. Go ahead. Number 2.
Number two. From 2015. You are a fan of Shakespeare.
I am.
Huge Shakespeare fan. So I'm Sure, you are familiar with King Lear.
I am.
When we discovered that a woman had written an adaptation of King Lear almost in oh my God. Writer Missouri Williams was fed up with what she called the complacency in modern stagings of Shakespeare.
Okay.
So she decided to do something really different. In her 2015 London production of King Lear with sheep, the one human actor played a director literally trying to herd his cast of sheep from scene to scene. It's a sight I can confidently say is currently unparalleled on the British stage, read one review. King Lear's horns are magnificent, and Gunreel chews a curtain. The sheep mostly stood there, as sheep are wont to do, as the director yelled lines of King Lear at them. But his frustration apparently became quite moving towards the end as he cradled the black sheep playing the dead Cordelia in his arms. That is King Lear with sheep from 2015. Are you going to be now searching for a restaging of King Lear with sheep so you can take this in on your own?
Nah. See what I did there?
I set you up.
You see what I did there?
Number one. From 1996.
1996.
Shakespeare adaptations don't get much looser or more irreverent than the 1996 gross-out comedy Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet.
Which puts a trauma spin on the Bard's endlessly recycled tale of the quintessential star-crossed lovers. This time out, Juliet is bisexual.
Of course.
And sexually voracious.
Oh, yeah.
Romeo is addicted to Shakespeare-themed porn.
Sure.
And the third act involves such newfangled contrivances as Juliet morphing into a hermaphrodite cow.
As one does.
The tagline, body piercing, kinking sex, dismemberment, the things that make Shakespeare great. Says it all.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, by the standards of the studio that brought us the Toxic Avenger, this still qualifies as a class act.
There you go.
And thus we have our number one.
Your number one.
Weird Shakespeare adaptations
there
that I call Shake Stranges.
Shake Stranges.
Romeo
and
Juliet.
Yeah.
Were you familiar? Have you seen Tromeo?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
How you feel about the trauma? Like you mentioned the Toxic Avenger.
I liked it at the time.
That's Darkman. He did Darkman, right?
I don't think he did.
That's not Trauma?
I don't think Trauma did Darkman. I don't think he did Darkman.
All right. How you feel about
he did Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Right. Swamp Thing was his big.
That's his big.
That's the stretch.
Yeah.
But how you feel about Toxic Avenger?
Toxic Avenger. I remembered it being goofy fun at the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't, age well.
Yeah, it helps to be like 14, 15.
It helps to be 14, 15 and watching it with other 14 and 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
Just watch out for the, it's silly.
I know.
It's silly.
All right.
There you
go.
So that's the top five.
That's top five.
All right.
And
And now,
right,
it's time for
a true Shakespearean battle. Talking about Montagues and Capulets, about Webbs and Williams.
It is time for 6 Degrees of D'Urville Martin. Six Degrees of D'Urville Martin, ladies and gentlemen, where I give Vincent 2 actors and he has 6 films or less to connect them to that one-man Shakespearean play in his own right.
Oh, yeah.
one D'Urville Martin.
Oh yeah, his life was filled with Shakespearean themes.
Most definitely. Mm-hmm. And keeping it right in theme,
All right.
these two actors
Okay.
have never appeared in a Shakespeare adaptation. So,
Well, who we got?
at least as far as I know.
Right.
Number one,
Number one,
in 6 movies or less.
6 movies or less.
This is a layup for you, Vincent.
Oh, well, easy.
Connect D'Urville Martin to
2.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Well, how do I want to get to Nicolas Cage? We've talked about Nicolas Cage too, because he's got like this really weird career. Mm-hmm. All right, let's just do this. All right, so Nicolas Cage, Nicolas Cage is, of course, in. I don't want to get to Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is in. I was trying to remember who was just in that movie he was in, the Nicolas Cage movie.
Which one?
He's
had a few movies.
Yeah. All right. Well, look. Let's just do this. D'Urville Martin. Do it real quick. D'Urville Martin is in The Final Come Down with Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams is in Batman '89 with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was in The Flash with Nicolas Cage. Remember, he had the cameo as Superman. Yeah.
He did. Mm-hmm. He did. Very good. Mm-hmm. All right, Vincent. Very good. All right. Number two.
In
6 films or less.
Of course, now you make me think about Nicolas Cage and Shakespeare.
He probably was in something that's been adapted to Shakespeare. You had to.
I mean, sure.
You gotta.
I get it.
It's Nicholas.
I know.
All right. Yeah, wasn't The Rock, wasn't that an adaptation of...
Very, very loose adaptation, like A Winter's Tale.
Yeah. In 6 films or less.
Okay.
Connect D'Urville Martin.
Okay.
To.
Two.
This is the hard one. Kira Sedgwick.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Yeah, make sure you got your right white actress.
That's whatchamacallit's wife.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon's wife.
Yes.
Okay, Kira Sedgwick. Yeah, see, once again, this is somebody I see on TV a lot.
Yes, because she had a TV show, The Closer.
Yeah, I was about to say she's the closer.
But she has done a fair amount of
When's the last time she was in a movie?
Well, she's in post-production on a couple of movies. She was in Endings and Beginnings in 2019.
Not familiar. Then I feel like she made that closer money, and she was just sort of chilling.
She was in Villains in 2019. She was in After Darkness. She was in Submission.
I've not heard of any of these movies.
Okay.
Have you heard of any of these movies?
No.
I don't think these are real movies. These are ghost movies. These are like those Oscar Micheaux movies that they don't have a prints of. They just have like an interview in the Negro press. But we don't know if they actually existed. Is it reviews of these movies in the Negro press, but we don't have any prints of them?
She was in 2015. She was in a movie called Cop Car.
These don't even sound like real names of movies.
That sounds familiar to me. Cop Car sounds familiar to me. Yeah, because Cop Car was with Kevin Bacon. But you can't use that.
I was about to say.
I gave you that one.
Yeah.
You can't use that one.
Right.
That would be unfair. I'm trying to think and see if there's a movie here that I'm pretty sure you saw that I think you've seen. Wow. Well, we're back in 97. She was in
I'm telling you, she made that close. That closer money was good money.
well,
Because that was on for like 8-9 years.
and she was also married to Kevin.
Look, it's better to be married to Kevin Bacon than Kevin not Bacon.
She was in Secondhand Lions. Remember Secondhand Lions? I think I'm not even looking it up, but I want to say, was Macaulay Culkin in that? I'm looking it up now. Oh, Haley Joel Osment. I knew it was another.
You're mixing up you little white boys.
That's my blind
That's
spot.
your blind spot.
None of this is helping you, apparently.
No. I'll use Haley Joel Osment.
Use Haley Joel Osment.
All right, so here you go. And I'll do this real fast, too, so we can go ahead and get to the Shakespeare. Because, of course, D'Urville Martin is in 5 on the Black Hand Side with Dick Anthony Williams, who's in Mo Better Blues with Samuel L. Jackson, who's in Unbreakable with Bruce Willis, who's in The Sixth Sense with Haley Joel Osment. Who's in Secondhand Lions with Kira Sedgwick. Who are the old people in Secondhand Lions?
Wrong one. Secondhand Lions. It's Haley Joel Osment, Robert Duvall, and Michael Caine.
There you go. Robert Duvall and Michael Caine. All right, well, there you go.
Speaking of Michael Caine,
Of Michael Caine,
we talked about last week. We talked about Neil Simon movies.
yes.
And free for watching on YouTube right now, ladies and gentlemen, is one of his films that I don't think you said you hadn't seen, California Suite.
Right.
Which I watched again today.
Wait. What's the one with Richard Pryor and Bill Cosby?
That's California Suite.
I have seen California Suite.
Oh, you did see
Michael
California.
Caine's in that?
Michael Caine is in that. Yeah, Michael Caine is in that with
Because I like California Suite. People go run hot and cold with California Suite.
because you know why? Because watching it again, I dig it. It's very uneven.
Yeah.
Because it basically is one, two, three, four
vignettes.
different
Four vignettes.
storylines.
It's an episode of Love Boat.
Yeah, but it's done very unevenly because like there's a story with Alan Alda and Jane Fonda as they are like talking about like the custody of their daughter.
I was about to say they're divorced.
Right, they're divorced, and that really takes up most of the first half of the movie. And then there's a story with Michael Caine, who's married to. Oh man, I
don't remember Michael Caine. Of course, I honestly don't remember much. I remember the Alan Alda vignette, but then obviously the Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby one is just fascinating.
It really is.
It's more fascinating than good.
Right, because it's not good.
Right.
But Michael Caine, he's married to Maggie Smith.
Oh, okay.
And Maggie Smith plays an actress who has been nominated for the Academy Award.
I don't remember this storyline at all.
And they have a very interesting storyline because they're married, but she knows, and it's a marriage of convenience.
Is he gay?
Because he's gay.
Okay, I do remember that. Okay.
But it's a very sweet story, and it's a very sweet
right, because they
relationship.
actually have a nice friendship.
They actually have a very
I do
great
remember
relationship.
him. Yeah.
But the thing is that those two parts are like it's not evenly distributed throughout the movie. Yeah. The Bill Cosby, Richard Pryor stuff is they're a couple that are just kind of like warring.
Right. Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor aren't a couple.
No.
They are part of.
They're part of a couple.
But it's that weird because California Suite's like what 82, 83?
78.
Is it 78?
Yeah.
They feel very 80s. Like it feels like because they're because aren't they both like doctors?
They're both doctors,
right? Like it's very much this post civil rights movement, black middle class depiction that tries really hard for them to, hey, look at us, we're middle. Because I remember they played tennis and like they're very sophisticated, but in a real ham-fisted way.
Well, Bill Cosby character is.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor he's basically him and the lady playing his wife, because the women that play their spouses are I've never even seen them before.
Well, the big thing is Bill Cosby and Richard Pryor.
Yeah, it's
and they've got weird energy.
It is, and it's not called chemistry.
No,
at all.
No, it is. Do they like each other? Like, what agent put this together?
Well, I mean, the story is that Richard Pryor wasn't that big a fan of Bill Cosby.
Well, but it's all there on the screen.
It is right there. It is right there. But it's very interesting because it's interesting to watch, because in '78, Bill Cosby is a star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Richard Pryor is a star as well.
Yes.
And probably there's an argument to be made in '78, probably, if not the hotter star of the two, probably the hotter movie star of the two.
It's so '78 is that before Bustin' Loose, or
that's got to be before Bustin' Loose.
Before,
I think before Bustin' Loose.
Yeah,
is
that's
80.
before Bustin' Loose.
Yeah, but by then he did Which Way Is Up,
which was a very,
yeah. But as far as like
I think when we talk about Richard Pryor as a movie star, it's pre and post Bustin' Loose. Yeah, Bustin' Loose.
But he did have, like, his concert movie had already hit by '78.
Okay.
So,
but even that, so it's now that's him, the comedian.
Yeah, fair enough.
And this is pre-Cosby Show.
This is pre-Cosby
right, so
show.
Bill Cosby is an entity.
He's an entity.
But he's not.
I don't think he's on TV at this time. He probably is just off of the Bill Cosby Show where he plays the Chet Kincaid.
Nah, Chet Kincaid is earlier, but remember, I think there was a Cosby Show after that.
Yeah, but I don't think it's '78. So because I think this is probably.
So you had the Bill Cosby Show, which was Chet Kincaid,
right?
Was Cos the variety show?
I think Cos was the variety show.
That's
early '70s,
right? Then you have the variety show,
and then he's off.
I thought there was another.
I think he's off until
something before the Cosby Show.
I don't think so,
because they kept they kept going to the well.
Well, I mean, he was a name, man.
Yeah.
He was still selling out, and he was concerts.
Yeah,
and stuff
but yeah, you're right. California Suite was this really strange moment with both of them.
Yeah, but the thing is interesting when you watch the energy. Bill Cosby, partly because of the character, but you can almost feel it. He's playing the alpha, and Richard Pryor is always plays like hound dog,
right,
in these things. But it's just a weird energy, man.
It's weird energy.
It's just
it's weird energy. But that's streaming.
It's streaming. It was on YouTube.
Interesting.
Then I sat and watched it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna watch the whole movie, but I might just watch the Bill, because what has always
the other thing about it is, unfortunately, it's like, excuse me, cut you off. I think they didn't even know what to do with them. They're barely in the movie.
Yes. Now, yes. Which I was about to say, you can watch it pretty quickly
if you just watch the part.
Yeah,
like, if you just did a smash cut of theirs, it's probably a half hour.
Yeah.
Probably 22 minutes.
I was about to say, I feel like a half hour is strong.
Yeah, it's probably 22 minutes.
Right. But all right, well, there you go.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Let's get into our review of The Tragedy of Macbeth.
I swear there was another Cosby Show after the variety show and before the Cosby Show. That wasn't the Chet Kincaid Cosby.
You want to look it up real quick? Go ahead. Because I know it will be tickling the back of your brain.
I was about to say, well, I'm supposed to be talking about this.
And you're just going to come blurt it out.
Real quick. Give me 1 second, Dylan. The new Bill Cosby show.
When
Wait,
was that?
No, that was a variety show. Hold on. Well, when was Cos? Yeah. Cos was 76. But that was also a sketch show. So he had 2 sketch shows?
I guess.
All right, let's go.
I barely remember them.
I remember Lola Falana was on one of them.
That's all you were doing. That's all you needed.
That's why. The reason I'm so adamant about the Bill Cosby variety show, because one of them was probably my actual introduction to Lola Falana.
Well, what show was with Lola Falana?
Ooh, that lady's making me feel funny.
Oh God.
All right, let's go.
Doesn't Lola Falana doesn't she show up on the Star Wars special? Isn't she the one that's dancing?
I have no actual memory of the Star Wars.
I think she's dancing in that. Because they go to the 3D thing, and I think she's dancing.
Yeah, I have no memory.
Ain't no Lola, legs out.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you.
Ooh, Lola Falana, man. All right, come on.
All right.
We've been live this whole time.
I know.
Go ahead.
I know.
All right. My head right. Go ahead.
A Scottish lord becomes convinced by a trio of witches that he will become the next king of Scotland, and his ambitious wife supports him in his plans of seizing power. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the plot to The Tragedy of Macbeth, a 2021 film adaptation of William Shakespeare's great play, written and directed by Joel Coen, with a co-writing credit to William Shakespeare, of course.
He also contributed.
He dotted an I. And starring one Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, Catherine Hunter, Corey Hawkins, and many more in this film that would go on to be nominated for 3 Academy Awards and was a darling of the 2021 film scene in gorgeous black and white. And Vincent's selection for our last stop through the Bards of November. Vincent, what say you of The Tragedy of Macbeth?
I think one of the many great things about Shakespeare, and actually great things, is that he was a playwright that did a lot of things really well. He wrote comedies, tragedies, his histories,
Romance.
He had several plays that incorporated supernatural or fantasy elements. We've talked about both The Tempest and A Midsummer Night's Dream. Hamlet's father's ghost appears, so on and so forth. But I think Macbeth is at its very sort of baseline is horror. Macbeth is really an example of the most again baseline definition of the supernatural, and of what that means. And when you look at the root origins of the word supernatural, and just the Latin, and it really is supernatural. It is outside of nature.
Yes.
It is outside of nature. And even when you look at the root word of while they're referred to as the Weird Sisters, we talk about them as witches. And the root words of witch is outside nature. It is unnatural. Because this is a play about killing a king. And in this ethical, moral universe of the 17th century, where this play comes from, there is no higher crime than the murder of a king.
Right. What's that? Regicide?
Regicide, regicide, because you are operating outside of the natural order.
Right.
And if you look at just the script or the play itself, the words that occur again and again: unnatural, supernatural, strange. Again, the Weird Sisters. And first and foremost, I think Joel Coen really internalized that when he talked about, or when we talk about what this film looks like. It's shot in black and white.
Beautiful black and white.
Beautiful black and white, but it is a very stark black and white with long, elongated shadows. And even in the daytime, the light is harsh. And the shadows throw in there are these strange, like it's all angles. And it feels uncomfortable. It feels like an environment that is otherworldly, and not otherworldly as in again something fantasy,
or galactic,
but otherworldly as in we are not operating within the natural order.
It's very unsettling.
It is unsettling. And this is the stage, literally, because this was filmed on a sound stage, that before you get to the play itself, before you get to the actors, as you said, the environment, the setting is unsettling. And again, this is reflected in the play itself, where from the very beginning, where you have the witches, and the witches say, when are we going to meet again? And, it's like line after line in this play is just a classic, legendary line. And they say, we will meet when the weather is, when fair is foul and foul is fair, which doesn't make sense. Like, this doesn't make sense. And you realize that just plot wise, they're going to meet at this battleground where Macbeth has been fighting for the king, Duncan, but it was a good outing. It was fair. But part of the reason it was a good outing is because the weather was terrible. So they could operate within this way. So fair is foul, foul is fair. And Macbeth meets these witches. These witches give him a fortune, give him his, give him this prophecy, which back to the, the word weird comes from someone who controls prophecy, which again, outside of nature, we're not supposed to control our lives. We're not supposed to control what we do. That is God. So the fact that you're doing it is weird. You are again outside of nature. The witches grant him this prophecy, tell him, you're gonna first, you're gonna be thane of this castle, basically, like a nobleman, the lord of this castle. But then you're also going to be the king. And it's like, how am I going to be the king? And then come to find out, he does become lord of the castle. Macbeth starts thinking, well, if the witches were right about that, maybe they're right about this king thing, which then gets to the theme of ambition and this sort of hunger, where he then begins to plan to kill the king. I think the first thing that I love about this film and the performances, obviously we'll talk about Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand, but as you mentioned, Catherine Hunter plays the witches. She plays the weird sisters. And Joel Cohen has this wonderful direction where Catherine Hunter is apparently a contortionist. So she's moving her body in a way, here's that word again, that looks unnatural. And it's very unsettling. And she plays the three witches. And just as a presence, her voice, everything is remarkable, is absolutely remarkable. There's not a bad performance in this film, frankly. And even people who only are there for a moment get a chance to really shine. I really liked I really liked, let me get him up. Bertie Carvel, who played Banquo, who is Macbeth's boy, basically his right-hand man, and he's good. Alex Hassel, who plays kind of someone in the court who has this great presence. This is where I really start to notice Corey Hawkins.
Okay.
Corey Hawkins, who plays Macduff, who is another nobleman who ends up on the wrong side of Macbeth, and all of his whole family is murdered, including his wife, played by Moses Ingram, who I forgot was in here, and then she was in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that was just on last year. But what?
You just look so happy saying that.
I was, 'cause I said, "Hey," I was like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme with the beer can. I pointed at the screen. I said, "Hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi." Corey Hawkins is fantastic. I think, frankly, as we I center in on the two, just. I don't even have the adjectives for the performances of Frances McDormand and Denzel Washington. But anyone who could stand out
against them
in this film, on screen with them or on screen when they're not there, is worth talking about. And Corey Hawkins has a scene where he finds out his family has been murdered that was it was breathtaking. I said, wow, because again, I never thought about Corey Hawkins like this.
Yeah.
Corey Hawkins is fantastic. The thing about Macbeth is a lot of people focus on the role of Lady Macbeth. And when we a lot of people, we talk about Macbeth, it's like, oh, well, Lady Macbeth is the brains and she's the one moving Macbeth around. Moving the pieces around. And I'm more of a fan of an interpretation like this, where they are partners. They are partners.
And they say that.
And, well, they say, I love the fact that at one point Macbeth actually talks to his wife and says that she is that they are my partner in greatness.
Yep.
Which everything you kind of need to know about the two of them. But Frances McDormand is a monster. She just her physical presence, her physical performance as Lady Macbeth. I think there's a moment in the play where she has gone mad, and Frances McDormand is everything. Just her bearing, and as someone who can go toe to toe with Denzel Washington, who as Macbeth, this is an actor. I think Denzel Washington has transcended what the vast majority of actors in his demographic have done as actors. I think we talk about these actors getting older, but I think about this alongside a performance like in Fences, where there's this deep resonance of bearing and presence and the maturity that he brings to this, where you understand why a man like this would have the appetites that he has, that even going against God, which is what killing a king is, I cannot deny myself. And if I have a moment, it can only be someone played by someone like Frances McDormand at this point in her career that can give me counsel. So that I think the performances in concert with the setting, in concert with the direction, because there are scenes in here that you know, there's the first scene that introduces this Macbeth, where he comes out of the shadows in the fog. There's a scene right when the king has been murdered, when Macduff comes to the castle and Macbeth is in shadow under this arc. That again, it is this unity of direction, setting, acting, and then of course the story itself, that it is unyielding. I think my favorite moment of what I'm saying. So the thing about Macbeth is again, it's unnatural. It's outside. As I said, what I always talk about with you know, frankly, my students, I always compare the dagger with Hamlet's ghost. We're like, you know, part of the Hamlet thing is, you know, oh, is Hamlet crazy, or is Hamlet pretending to be crazy? And I'm in the school of Hamlet's pretending to be crazy, because we see the ghost of his father as the audience. We see his father. But in Macbeth, when Macbeth sees the dagger, which represents his ambition, which represents his plan to murder the king, we don't see the dagger the way we see the ghost. So that Macbeth is separate from us as the audience. And then you get that wonderful duality of the moment where Lady Macbeth, after they've murdered the king, she sees blood, you know, out damn spot, where she talks about that. So Joel Cohen has this amazing moment in here where Macbeth sees the dagger. And Denzel Washington is of course bringing everything to, you know, this dagger that I see before me. But again, the audience, we don't see the dagger. So Joel Cohen gets around this because he has this wonderful long shot of the handle on the door of the king's bedroom that it looks like a dagger until you get up on it.
Right.
And you realize what he's done with that. And again, it's scene after scene like this, so that this is a masterpiece. this is an actual masterpiece.
It is a absolute beautiful piece of work. You talk about the performances in the film. Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, Corey Hawkins, Catherine Hunter. Everybody's performance is amazing. The richness of the cinematography, and let's give the cinematographer his just due. Bruno Del Bonell, and Del Bonell. And I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but its cinematography is fantastic. I read where he actually, knowing that it was going to be black and white, and most of the costuming was black and white as well, or like in grayscale, and that he actually then would still paint some dark places on the stage just to add to the starkness. And it definitely does have an unsettling feeling of these sound stages that are very stripped down in their look and in their setting, in the set design. It's almost akin to like a black box theater, but it's more than that. But it's got a little bit of that vibe. But you never feel cheated by it. You never feel like, like, oh, this is all they can afford. No, it puts you in this world. And it is actually a sight to behold, man. And I am all the better for it because I unfortunately did not understand one word these people were saying. I had the subtitles on, and man, I was lost. I'm telling you, all I could just kept saying is, why everybody dying? Like,
why is everybody dying?
Like, the people would be introduced and they'd be dead before they come into the room. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
They gonna run out of people to kill.
Everybody dies in this joint.
Look, man.
Every single person in this joint they're just dropping dead left and right.
Look, once Macbeth gets that prophecy, once you get the crown, you got to keep the crown.
Dude, I'm like, yo, this joint is good. Like his boy died. Like everybody.
Look.
I'm like.
Look, the witch said, you gonna be the king. He told his boy, your kids are going to be the king. So when he became the king, Macbeth was like, well, what's going to happen to me for his kids to be king?
You know what? Son.
You know what? We got to kill everybody.
everybody got to go.
Everybody got to go.
Everybody got to go. The hell with it. That part, at least, I understood. I didn't understand from what they were saying. Context clues told me what was going on. Because everybody was dying.
Hey, look, yeah.
I was like, man, this really looks nice. It'd probably be really nicer if I understood what everybody was saying. I'm trying to read the thing and like it's just going back. I'm like, well, this is not helping. I don't know what the I don't know what the hell is happening. Because this was my entree into Macbeth.
Right.
I knew the story of like, okay, Lady Macbeth pumps up Macbeth to kill the king.
Right.
And then in order for Macbeth to hold on to the crown, I think, this is me before the movie.
Right, but it sounds like you got it.
Yes. So I got it. But then it's still reading it. I mean, because it doesn't open up with Macbeth. Like, it
opens up with the witches.
Well, no. It opens up with these guys coming to report to the king.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, well, who are these guys? And then they're talking. I don't understand. Whoa.
They're talking about the battle that Macbeth.
It's like there's
because Macbeth's name rings out.
Dude, but then
He like Omar.
okay.
Like his name ring out before you even see him.
Yeah, but there's Macbeth and there's Macduff.
Yeah,
There's
that's a lot.
There's
It's
a
Scottish.
Thane of this. There's a Thane
It's
of that.
Scottish.
There's all these Thanes.
You like Scrooge McDuck? Do you know how this works? They all have their Mac something.
Okay, but there was only one Scrooge McDuck.
Right.
There's Mac, Thane. I'm like, what? There's Lady Mac. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And like, all I knew, at least people started dying. So then I was just like,
Well, don't have to worry about them anymore.
all right, they're
Right,
off.
right,
I ain't got to worry about that actor. So I mean, like, so I liked it,
Sure.
but I really need to see. Look, like you sitting here,
Yes.
and like you said, like something like like out damn spot.
Out damn spot.
I now know that was about to. I didn't catch that. I'm telling you.
At one point, she says, "Who knew the old man had so much blood?"
Okay, I knew that.
Yeah.
But there was just a lot that was going over my head, and as I was trying to read it,
Right.
and I like what I saw.
My suggestion for people with Shakespeare: actually read the Cliff Notes first,
Okay.
so that you know the plot,
Okay.
and then go in.
You did not tell me this.
You're right. I didn't.
but to
I
be
didn't
fair,
think I'd have to.
But to be fair,
Yeah.
I didn't. Well, I was about to say I didn't do that for Othello,
Sure.
but I had already seen adaptations of Othello.
Right.
If I've seen an adaptation of Macbeth, I don't know that I've seen
Sure.
an adaptation of Macbeth, and I probably have.
Have you watched Throne of Blood?
Throne of Blood?
Akira Kurosawa?
No, I never saw that.
Akira.
I never saw that.
Oh my God.
So, apparently, that's Macbeth.
Oh my God. You've got to watch Throne of Blood.
Well, if
That's
I,
actually streaming now too.
But if I didn't understand English,
Okay.
do you think I'm going to
Throne of
understand?
Blood is actually easier.
If I didn't understand it in English, in my language,
Throne of Blood
you
is
think
easy.
I'm going to get it in Japanese? No, Len. What you need is the Japanese version of Macbeth. Perhaps that will translate better for you.
You are killing me right now. You're killing me.
Killing you, Smalls.
You're killing me. You would love Throne of Blood.
Does it look as good as Tragedy of Macbeth?
Oh, come on, dog. It's Kurosawa.
Well, then I probably will.
Yeah. And it's in black and white.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah. And it's streaming now, too.
Okay.
I may or may not have watched the last hour of Throne of Blood when I finished. Because I was looking for something in particular that I'll talk about. And I was like, I think they did in Throne of Blood. Well, okay, I'm not going to watch all of Throne of Blood, but okay, I'll watch the last hour.
I won't tell you about the YouTube deep dive I went on yesterday. It had nothing to do with
Nothing
this.
to do with this. Look.
No, I liked it.
No. But all jokes aside, I do think part of the power of the performances is that even if you can't get through the language, you absolutely
Yes, you feel it.
feel the motivate. Like there's a moment where the king comes to the Macbeth's house, where Francis McDormand and Denzel Washington look up together, and they are wolves.
Yeah.
Like they are wolves. And one of the things that I noted, I said, I need Denzel Washington and Francis McDormand to make movies together, because they really. It's funny. Also, I don't know what this says about me, but like we've been talking about Othello the past couple of weeks, and I keep telling Othello and Desdemona are a terrible couple. They don't trust each other. They lie and this, that, and other. And then we were talking about Romeo and Juliet, like these two dumbass kids that are together for like 4 or 5 days, and then they kill each other, like they kill themselves. Like, but I was like, who I really like as a couple?
Lady Macbeth.
The Macbeths. Like the Macbeths are ride or die. Like I like them as like that's real goals right there. The Macbeths. Cause look, this hopefully it goes without saying, we don't evaluate women like this. in the 21st century. But this whole theme of unnatural really kind of plays out with Lady Macbeth, the fact that she can't have children.
Yeah.
And this is a plot point. Like part of the reason that Banquo's kids are being tapped that they're going to be kings is that Macbeth does not have any children. And then,
so you want to have an heir.
you know, and then Macduff says it when he murders Macduff's whole family. Macduff is like, he has no family. Now he doesn't want me to basically have a family. But the detail that I like is that this is not a secret. Like Macbeth knows that Lady Macbeth can't have children. But he loved her.
Yeah.
Like this, you know, hell, Henry V killed 2-3 wives. Like there's something kind of sweet there. Like that this couple always has each other's back.
Yeah. And
that comes through with this, regardless of what you're doing with the subtitles or not. that Denzel Washington's Macbeth and Frances McDormand's Lady Macbeth are a team.
Well, the one thing I will say, you sense the change in Macbeth's energy when he's with Lady Macbeth.
Yes.
Because in the beginning, you see the almost like this weariness on him, you know, because of, you know, the battles and everything like that. And him just longing to return to her, you know. So I will say she probably is the original ride or die chick.
Yeah. Speaking of Denzel Washington's performance, Denzel Washington has 2 fight scenes in here. Denzel Washington punking that one guy. So Macbeth, so you know, I guess Macbeth is a smart guy, but he's not really smart. He doesn't figure out, like the witches keep giving him prophecies, and one of the even though they all kind of turn left, he never figures out.
He never sees it.
This is a monkey paw, but one of the prophecies is you cannot be killed by a man who is born of woman.
Right.
So, you know, he's like, well, everybody is born of woman, so basically I can't be killed. So there's a moment where a warrior comes at him, and Denzel Washington's physical performance as he pushes this, I don't want to call him a boy, but he treats him like a boy.
He sons him.
He sons him, pushes him around, and I just love that moment so much because, again, Denzel Washington in his 60s is just he's just power. You know, just his bearing and his is like, this is terrible. Like I know you always gotta be careful comparing black people to animals. You know, you ever watch those shark TikToks? Like the TikToks of the people free diving with sharks and things. Yeah, I love sharks. And you'll see like the divers, and they'll be free diving with these sharks. It's like, this is a great white shark. It's like 16 feet long, 20 feet long. And, you know, it's probably 100 years old. And it's like, well, damn, that's a big ass shark. But then you think, like, it's 20 feet now, but like a decade ago, it was 15 feet.
Right.
And 15 feet that's
still bigger.
That's still big. It's just that 20 is bigger. Like Denzel Washington made Malcolm X like damn near 30 years ago. You know? Like even Training Day.
Yes.
That's like 20 years. Like you saw this magnificent actor, but that was 20 years ago. Frances McDormand was in Fargo like Frances McDormand in Fargo is better than most people have ever been in anything.
Yes.
In Fargo. But that was 30 years ago. Like these actors
that was her coming out.
Right. They just kept honing their craft. I mean, hell, Fences was 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, probably maybe a little longer. Yeah.
Like Denzel Washington made Fences, and then he swam off into the darkness and just got better.
I'm just going to equalize for a little bit.
well, you know, have you? You know what? I realize I've never seen any of the Equalizer movies.
You haven't seen any of them?
I've never seen any of them.
They're not bad.
I mean,
I mean,
apparently
they are what they are.
I mean, like Denzel Washington beating up that boy this afternoon was that made me say, "Huh, Denzel Washington, action star," and going toe to toe Corey Hawkins with a sword.
Fences was 7 years ago.
Fences was 7 years ago. He could have done Fences and said, "I'm done." Mm-hmm. He's still like he's still doing Denzel Washington stuff.
I know.
So I love every single about it. You know, we haven't even talked about the sound design. And
the score.
The score.
You talk about like, you know, this is horror. It is like the music of it.
Yeah.
It's like it's so rich and like there's a lot of string, violin.
Yeah, but like sort of discordant.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and again, tonally, it is. I saw someone describe it as gothic horror.
Yeah,
where you know when you think about. You know, we talk about horror now. It's always bloody and this, that, and the other. But in my mind, you know, I like the English Village horror from like the 70s. Like all those movies around Wicker Man, around that Wicker Man time. And that's what this made me think of. Like just, like I'm just, like this is not normal. This is not right. Like I am somewhere that is not right. And it captures that perfectly. What I was talking about with Throne of Blood, and I swore this was in Throne of Blood, but I was wrong. I've seen productions of Macbeth where at the end, you know, so they crown Malcolm as the new king. And I've seen production where Macduff now rides off. But as he rides off, the weird sisters are waiting in the road.
Oh.
Almost like this is cyclical. Or it has the potential to be cyclical. Because once you listen to them, now you're in this brand new place. So, just fantastic.
Would you recommend that people sit and watch The Tragedy of Macbeth?
I would. And all jokes aside, I think there is enough here for a film lover to come in cold. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand it. I don't, you know, even don't even turn the subtitles on. Like, just sit and watch it. I think you can get enough of it. Again, it's the unity of form. Like the direction, the sets, the performances that it can pull you in. And I do think that the more you know about it, the more resonant it becomes. So yeah, I absolutely would recommend it.
You can watch it like I more or less watched it, not knowing what they're talking about and just enjoying the visuals, the music, and you will still be captivated. You will still be captivated, ladies and gentlemen. So I would also recommend that people see The Tragedy of Macbeth. And when you do, please invite me so you can tell me what is happening. I would appreciate that.
I also think you should watch Throne of Blood. It's easier to understand.
In Japanese.
It's English subtitles.
That didn't help me here. Just saying. Well, there you have it. There's a review of The Tragedy of Macbeth. And thus, we close the book on the Bards of November.
The Bards of November.
Ladies and gentlemen, how before I tell you what we're going to be watching next month, which will be Christmas.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's Christmas month. It's the month of Christmas, holidays. Let you know we are only going to be doing 3 shows in December. So we're only going to be around for 3 weeks in December, and then we're going to take 2 weeks off at the end of the year to recharge our batteries.
Absolutely.
But before we tell you what we're going to be watching to kick off our holiday extravaganza, I invite you to follow the Micheaux Mission on the social media of your choice, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or Facebook group, the social media formerly known as Twitter, known as X now. You can find us at Micheaux Mission, MICHEAUX MISSION. You can also subscribe to the Micheaux Mission on YouTube, where many of you are watching us right now. You can subscribe, hit that bell so you'll be notified when we put up our new shorts and when we are going live, and when we eventually will have re-edited short bits that will be going up there, because I'll be doing all of that stuff over the holiday season. So, because it gets busy, ladies and gentlemen, it does. The Micheaux Mission, if you want to email us, we're open for all emails. Email us at micheauxmission@gmail.com. And you can always find us here every Tuesday from Young Chunk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast plaza here in Manayunk. This is our studio, but they have many other studios available for you if you want to get your video podcasting on. Hey, we've always told you to go to the website. We've got an even better hookup for you. Our producer, Dylan, has opened up his heart and is so gracious to say, Len, why don't you just tell people, just email me directly. I'll take care of them. So you can email Dylan at youngjunk.com. That's DYLAN, Dylan at youngjunk.com, and book your time in one of the fabulous studios they have here at Young Junk, right here in Manayunk in Philadelphia. The Micheaux Mission is also a proud member of the Podglomerate. We've been with Podglomerate for now over 6 years.
Wow.
Yes. Proud to be with Podglomerate and their network of podcasts. The Podglomerate, they make podcasts work. Next week, kick off our holiday Christmas season in style, and we stay British.
Oh, okay.
As we go to the year of 2021, and we bring you our review of the film Boxing Day.
Oh, Boxing Day. That is British.
It is British.
Yeah.
It is British. Let's see how they do it across the pond.
Across the pond.
Next week, here on the Micheaux Mission. Until then, he's Vince, I'm Len, and in parting we say,
We'll see you when it's time to meet again.